All right, so today we're going to be doing a deep dive into Animal Farm.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I
Yeah.
think this is one that a lot of people will have read, maybe back in high school or something.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a lot of people have said that this book is like surprisingly relevant even today, which is
It really is.
yeah, so we're going to kind of get into that and unpack some of that stuff today. And
Sounds good.
yeah, I think it'll be a really interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of get us started, Animal Farm it's kind of a deceptively simple story, right?
Yeah.
It's about a bunch of animals who take over a farm.
Right.
But underneath that, there's like this really sharp critique of totalitarianism, and it's very clearly, an allegory for the Russian Revolution.
Yeah, and I think what makes it so powerful is that it's not just a historical retelling. It's like this warning about the dangers of power no matter what form it takes.
Right, and it's not even just power. It's the way that power corrupts ideals. Like, you start off with these animals, and they have these amazing goals.
Mm-hmm.
They want freedom. They want equality.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to create this like perfect society where everyone benefits.
Right. Everyone's going to work together and it's going to be this utopia.
Exactly. But then as soon as they get rid of the humans, the pigs start taking over.
Of course.
And it's like their revolution just ends up replacing one form of tyranny with another.
Yeah, it's this classic case of meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah. And it's really fascinating how Orwell uses these animal characters to represent real-world figures and ideas.
Right. Like, it's so clever how he does that.
So, for example, Napoleon the pig,
Mm-hmm.
he's obviously meant to be Stalin.
Oh, absolutely.
He's this ruthless dictator who consolidates power through fear and propaganda.
Yeah, and then you have Snowball, who's kind of like this more idealistic revolutionary.
Right, he's like the Trotsky figure.
Exactly. He's got these grand visions for the future, but he gets pushed aside because his ideas are too radical for the pigs in charge.
Right, and the way that Snowball gets demonized and chased off the farm is like a textbook example of how totalitarian regimes silence dissent.
It's chilling how relevant that is even today.
Totally, and then you have characters like Boxer the horse.
Oh, Boxer.
He's like the symbol of the working class. He's so strong and dedicated and loyal, but he's also kind of naive.
Yeah, he just keeps working harder and harder, believing that if he just puts his back into it, everything will be all right.
Right, he's like the ultimate example of how those in power exploit the good intentions of the working class.
And his ending is just...
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really shows how even under a system that claims to be equal, the vulnerable can still be exploited.
Absolutely. So, we've talked about the characters, but there are also these really powerful symbols in the book that are worth unpacking.
Oh, for sure.
Like the windmill, for instance.
Yeah, the windmill. What do you think that represents?
Well, on one level, it's this symbol of progress, right?
Right. The animals all believe that if they can just build this windmill, it will make their lives easier.
Exactly. But it also becomes this symbol of how easily good intentions can be twisted and manipulated.
Because really, the windmill is just this massive project that the pigs use to keep the other animals in line.
Right. They're all working themselves to the bone for this supposed common good.
Right.
But in reality, it's just benefiting the pigs.
Yeah, and it shows how even something that seems positive and hopeful can be used as a tool of oppression.
Totally. And then there's the whole thing with the 7 Commandments.
Oh, the 7 Commandments.
Which at the beginning seemed like this brilliant set of principles for a fair and just society.
Right. All animals are equal. No animal shall kill another animal, all that stuff.
Yeah. But then the pigs start gradually changing the commandments.
One by one.
To suit their own interests.
And they do it so subtly that the other animals barely even notice until it's too late.
Right. And that's one of the scariest parts of the book, I think, how easily language and propaganda can be used to manipulate people.
Absolutely, because by the end, the 7 Commandments have been completely warped to justify the pig's tyranny.
And it's like that line that they add at the end, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
It's just so chilling because it shows how those in power can twist the very meaning of truth.
Right. And it makes you think about all the ways that we're being manipulated by language in our own lives.
Oh, totally. Like all the slogans and sound bites and political rhetoric, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's like Orwell is giving us this toolkit for seeing through all that BS.
Absolutely. He's showing us how to be critical thinkers, how to question authority, and how to resist being manipulated.
So, this book was written over 70 years ago, but it's still so relevant today.
Oh my God, it's more relevant than ever.
Think about all the stuff that's happening in the world right now.
Right.
The rise of authoritarianism, the spread of misinformation, the manipulation of truth.
It's all right there in Animal Farm.
Yeah, it's like Orwell was looking into the future and seeing all the dangers that we're facing now.
It's scary how accurate he was.
So what do you think is the biggest takeaway from Animal Farm for people today?
I think it's that we need to be vigilant. We need to be aware of the ways that power can corrupt and how easily we can be manipulated.
Right, and we need to be willing to speak up against injustice, even when it's uncomfortable.
Exactly, because as Animal Farm shows us, silence only benefits those in power.
So if you haven't read Animal Farm, or if it's been a while, I highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, it's a quick read, but it's so powerful and it will definitely make you think.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And I think it's a book that everyone should read at least once in their lifetime.
Agreed.
So that's our deep dive into Animal Farm.
Thanks for having me. It was a great discussion.
Yeah, this was a good one. And for everyone listening, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Animal Farm and its relevance to the world today. So feel free to leave a comment or send us an email. We always love hearing from you.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know what you think.
All right, until next time.
See ya.